Howdy and welcome to the CRL Show, Episode 3. Paul Arundel and Jeff Stevenson. Welcome, mate.
Yeah, good to be here. Great to be back in the swing of things. A few more competitions rolling out this week.
Yeah. What's that? I'm not sure what that thing is. It's bright. I think it's called Sun.
I don't know. Yeah, it's we've actually got it streaming into the shed for a change.
A couple little holes in this shed here. So
by the time it goes to air, there'll probably be no sun anywhere.
Yeah.
It'll be raining again, but we'll enjoy the sun while we got it.
Yeah, well, a couple of rounds in now of a few of the competitions and a few more starting up. And let's hope that this weather stays away this weekend, especially on the east coast of New South Wales, predicting more rain. So
yeah, I mean, I think we're lucky, I guess, in some of the comps. It seems to be, I know in the Newcastle comp, the areas away from the coast seem to be getting a little bit of less rain, and hopefully that happens this week, and hopefully places like Canberra and that just miss it entirely, so we've got something to watch. Fingers
crossed. Well, we may as well get into the highlights and kick things off with Canberra. It was round one of the Canberra Raiders Cup. And what about this? Woden Valley defeating Queanbeyan Blues. You'd have to say it's an upset.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Queanbeyan will be dirty on this because no doubt they've been training all summer and there's an expectation that they come out of the blocks running.
Yeah, 16-6 Woden Valley over the Queanbeyan Blues. And, I can't remember the last time the Blues...
There's a touch of, Queanbeyan won't be happy because there's some pretty poor play there defensively.
And, just across the road a bit, it was Tuggeranong at home at Greenway, and they just absolutely put on a demolition of the Roos, 40-6. And at Gungahlin, West Bell, they got this one late. It was sort of neck and neck the whole way. It's a good try there, an intercept in the front row. It's always good to see.
He did well, didn't he? He got there.
Yeah, and then a field goal put them in front. Then that late penalty goal got the points for West Bell. Then the match of the round, Goulburn City, they looked pretty sharp against Belconnen United. Got a couple of the tries here.
Yeah, and great skills early in the season. I always say that this time of year, but Goulburn looked very sharp in this game.
Yeah, Steve Cummins, the winger for the Bulldogs, picking up a hat-trick, so it's a good way to start 2022 for not only Steve Cummins, but also the Goulburn City Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like using the word smoky, but I really like the look of Goulburn City, and I have for the past couple of seasons, so you never know. I won't say smoky, but I could see them improving.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how they go. Well, we'll move up north of the border now. It was round two of Rugby League Gold Coast, and you've been waiting to see some highlights of this for
I have. I won't say smoky about Helensvale either, but geez, what a performance. Ben Hannett, under the post. Look at him. I think he was more surprised than anyone.
That was probably the best moment for Corumba. So this, Helensvale Hornets, what a way to win. It's like the first win in almost, I'd say, 9 months. So well done to the Hornets.
Yeah. And I think Ben Hannett's 37, I think, so it's not bad for a front row.
Yeah, he still does well. At Owen Park on, I think this was Sunday, I can't really remember now, it seems that long ago. Southport got off to a good lead, but Hundrey Bar, well, let's say they scored some interesting tries, put it this way.
Yeah, they always say, I know Gus Gill goes on about that bouncy ball from a pass, can lead to anything. It certainly did in this game.
Yeah. McDonald scoring there in the corner. 26-18, Mudgee Bar of Southport. Then the match of the round here, Runaway Bay against Ormo. It was also neck and neck for a long time. They go on for try, but then the Seagulls put a couple together and won this one 30-26.
And almost really proving, I think when clubs come back in, no one's quite sure how they're going to perform, but they're showing that they're not going to be easy beats. Yeah,
Brent Barnes picked up a hat-trick in that game, and Tugun against Burleigh, last year's grand finalists. Burleigh, look, Tugun did well to fight back, but for me, Burleigh seemed always in control.
Yeah, they've got a bit of individual brilliance there with a couple of players that probably make a difference.
Yeah. So Connor Carey also picked up a hat-trick. So there's been a few hat-tricks early in the season in all competitions. So well done to those guys. We'll move down a bit to Newcastle Rugby League. Only the 2 games this week. Obviously, a few washouts and that.
Yeah.
That's probably going to happen again this weekend. But the Goannas, 2 from 2.
Not a bad run, that. He just led to a few opposition players being airborne.
Yeah, he's so quick, Hayden Regan. Almost the cameraman almost didn't pick him up. Yeah. Well done there. And so the Goannas were pretty sharp on the day against Lakes United, a young team. But they'll improve.
Yeah, and I think they've already improved compared to last season in a way.
And at Maitland Sports Ground, the Pickers, they were pretty sharp too against the Western Suburbs Rosellas. This man here, James Bradley, a hat-trick. His wing partner, Perry LeBrock, I think he picked up one. So they're still on the form as last year.
Yeah. I love a good intercept, but it didn't look like he was going to get the job done, and finally sort of finished it in the end. And we, again, this time of year, talk about the West Rosellas and Newcastle comp and need to decide whether they're a bit of a shaky start themselves, a bit like Queanbeyan, or are we seeing them warming up?
Two tough games first up, Maitland and Cessnock. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they've been competitive. The score on that one was 24-6. Maitland over Western Suburbs, and Cessnock won 44-16. That was round 2 games. They missed out on 3. So for some of them, they haven't even started round 1.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Newcastle comp. We'll travel back up north to the Sunshine Coast, and Kawana and Caloundra have the honours of being the first Sunshine Coast Rugby League game on Bar TV.
Yeah, and a night game. And, geez, up in that area, it must have been a beautiful night to be watching Rugby League. It would have been just nice temperature and everything.
Yeah, nice and balmy indeed. Kawana won this one 20-10 over Caloundra. And they get a decent crowd. All the crowd's obviously on the Canberra side of the ground.
Yeah.
So they're very vocal, and the Dolphins picking up the win. And then on Sunday we went to Maroochydore to watch them play the Noosa Pirates, and we can see the time there on the screen. We're inside the final 10 here, 28 all. Throwing the ball around here, the Pirates. And you think, right, they've scored there, they're going to win it. But then Maroochydore go up the other end. A former go-winner is playing in this one, Seaton Reid too, for those Cessnock viewers.
Nice. And it's not done yet, as you see. He had to convert from the sideline.
Look at that.
For those listeners, he banged it straight over the black dot eventually. It did look a bit shaky off the boot.
Yeah, other results, Beerwah Bulldogs 30 over Nambour Crushers 18, and Caboolture 34 defeated the Gympie Devils 34-26.
And now that's all part of the Bar TV package. So if you're a subscriber, you could have watched that on the weekend.
Yeah.
And again, by the sounds of it, there'll be more. Not South Coast. What am I talking about?
Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast. There are more Sunshine Coast games coming up.
But South Coast Group 7 Rugby League kicks off.
It's coming up as well. What a great segue that is. Yeah. But no, another edition. Fantastic rugby league being played up that way, and another thing to whack on the weekend. Yeah,
some good little clubs up there too in their reserve grade / second division. Mary Valley. There's a few little small ones. Stanley River. I know they got. Nice. I know they got smashed with floods there a couple of months ago. So fingers crossed they can get out on the paddock. But it's good to have Sunshine Coast Rugby League involved with Bar TV. Look forward to seeing more.
Fantastic. Yeah, bring it on. It's great footy so far.
All right, mate. Around the grounds.
Yeah, let's have a look. A little bit of stuff here and there, just etching in a few things that have happened over the past few weeks. One thing I want to praise a lot of these groups or whoever's making the decisions, that there's a few NRL games already being played out in the rural and regional New South Wales.
Yeah.
And they're starting to, I think it was an idea we spoke about here, maybe they were listening.
Maybe.
They're starting to play local comp games as the precursor, the game before the NRL game. So it's fantastic. So the Peter McDonald Premiership actually started last week with one game, which was just the game where Mudgee defeated Dubbo Macquarie 34-24. Yeah. But it was a game before the NRL game at Mudgee.
That's great.
What I like about it is, once I realised I was sort of watching, keeping an eye on it and that stuff, and that what happens, I guess, is that a lot of these grounds, you've got to get there early to get your spot.
Yeah.
So those local players played in front of probably about 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people.
Yeah.
Which for them, like I've said before, that might be the highlight of their rugby league career or their endeavours in rugby league. It might be something I would never forget if you're playing that in front of that many. The local team won, so I imagine there'll be a lot of locals there cheering them on. It'd be a great day.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But Bathurst have done it as well. Wagga Wagga's playing this week, and there's a game at McDonald Park. I'm not sure. There's 3 games of rugby league. Canberra and Storm are obviously the first grade or the main game. I don't know who those other 2 games are. I hope that it's somewhere, some Riverina teams are either. Bathurst just played a trial, and I mean that's good enough.
Yeah, that's
doesn't have to have points on the board, but just a bit of a thumbs up there, because I think on top of it, I've always said also, if you're not going to play a local comp game, play an under-18s game or something like that where you can have some young talent putting themselves out there with a whole bunch of NRL coaches and stuff, sort of keeping one eye on the game while they're getting their first grade ready.
Yeah, and they watch. They'll check them out for sure. So
yeah, I've got some connections up the mid-north coast. It said Wingham's race day unfortunately was cancelled because of rain as well. Stuff we don't factor in when it comes to wet weather and stuff. So Wingham they were transferring the race day to Gunnedah, which would have been a bit of a trip.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was then cancelled or postponed. So anyone in the area, I don't quite know what you can do. I guess you can sort of maybe try to support their local sponsors or do something to help them out, because those sort of things must impact on little clubs.
Yeah, it would big time.
You'd hope that they can get that rearranged, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep on Wingham Race Day news.
We might have to pop up there for the Wingham Race Day.
You guys will be the first to hear from it. Yeah, we'll do a live broadcast maybe, or a broadcast from the Wingham sheds or the Tari Race Club sheds, I guess it'll be.
I did watch a trial match up there. The Tigers, they played the Shortland Devils a few years ago, and it was they actually got a decent crowd for a trial match.
Yeah,
against
wow.
a Newcastle second division team. So,
okay. There are some funny trials. I know Coogee Wombats. I can't remember who they played, but there's a lot of clubs moving across the state. It's refreshing after COVID, I think, to think that can happen. You can just drive your team up the road for a game. So it's fantastic. Group 2 news: the North Coast having their first women's comp.
Yeah.
It's got a few teams. So I don't know whether those teams have completely flush with players. So I guess this is more of a call out to anyone living in the area who wants to strap some boots on and go down to training. And even if you've never played before, you might just want to go to training and get a feel for it, kind of thing. Teams are going to be Coffs Harbour, Macleay Valley, Kendall, Long Flat, Harrington, Wingham, and Port Macquarie.
Oh, righto.
So it's not a bad start. Yeah. Starts at May 7th is their first round, and I think it's like a 20-round comp too. They're not mucking around. I think that's right. I'll double check, but it's
20. I think it's longer than the men.
Yeah, it's certainly longer than the NRL women's comp. Much longer. Yeah. I will check on that actually, because maybe it's like
if there's a link to, we'll share that on the Bar TV Rugby League page too. Yeah,
fantastic. And like I said, that area, it covers a huge area. So if you're a woman that's thought, oh look, I've enjoyed being sporty, I enjoy a bit of sport, I enjoy having a run around, or you just want to volunteer your time and go down to the club and say, I want to help out strapping or whatever do it. Because I think, a credit to the North Coast that they've gone out and not gone with 2 or 3 clubs. They've decided, they've obviously enough interest up there that they've gone, no, we reckon we can go pretty big on this, and that's quite a few clubs. Other stuff, Peter McDonald Premiership, I seem to talk about a lot on here. Love it. Orange, I think, just showcasing Orange. Daniel Mortimer is the captain coach of Orange Sims this year.
Yeah, right.
So reconnecting the Mortimers to the Orange Sims brand. Yeah. But it might be, like it's been decades of the Mortimers being involved with that club. So it's good to see him back, signed on, and maybe sticking around for a while. Says captain coach, I think. I don't know whether he'll play every round, a bit like Harry Saker and a few of these other guys that may throw themselves in mid-year when there's a few injuries, or be there at the end if they need to be, or whatever. Former Panther Shane Rodney, though, signed with the Orange Hawks as their coach. Yeah,
right. Shane Rodney, he spent a bit of time at Manly as well.
Yeah, he was Penrith, Manly, and London Broncos. Yeah, so I just haven't heard since his retirement, which was he might have played London for a while, but it's 2012. He stopped playing NRL. I haven't heard much of him being a coach or that kind of thing. So he's obviously gained some experience there, or an interest. Either way, who cares? It's good to see him involved in putting a bit back into the rural and regional comp. Last thing, Group 7. Now, Group 7, I don't know whether it's a naming right sponsor, but they've got a new sponsor, Cattleman's Brewing Co.
Yeah, he's got a few there lined up at Ashton.
His Ashton operations manager has been on the money. One thing I like about this is Cattleman's Brewing Company is co-owned by the Morris twins.
Yeah, okay.
So it just made me think, I always think of how can these professional, doesn't have to be NRL, professional players, ex-professional players put back into their local comp. Another way is through, if they're successful business people, sponsorship. Yeah. And that's going to help more than anything, The days of you'd be a captain coach, you'd go back to your local area, buy the pub, and the pub sponsors the footy team. That's the old way of doing it. But there are a lot of guys that have gone on. I know Adam McDougall's a city boy, but someone like him, you would think if you were his local junior team, you would say, "Hey, mate, can you sponsor our team?"
The Manshake Man of the Match has a good ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. The Manshake CRL Show has a very good ring to it, doesn't it?
Ashton Simpson's probably already onto it.
So anyway, I like that idea because obviously the Morris twins, they're not probably rolling in money from this company, but it's a great synergy there with a bunch of kids that are from that area, have done well in rugby league, but also are going to support their club in ways that are other than rugby league. They're just, I guess, cash, but also exposure. You know, we're talking about it here. People are going to notice it. Yeah. It's a good brand, but I mean, everyone likes a beer. No one's going to complain about having a beer at the footy. I think it's great. And like I said, the Cattleman's Brewing Company or Manshake CRL Show has a really good ring to it.
It does. We'll see what's happening.
You can watch me fade away to a shadow. I can go on, or we'll go Cattleman's Brewing. You can see me put on one. Anyway,
you can be half and half.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can pick which one's on the Manshakes and which one's on the Cattleman's Brewing beer. Have you got any round the groups?
Just a reminder, fingers crossed the weather, this wet weather stays away this Saturday at Townsend Oval. It's Sleepy's Day. South Newcastle hosts Central Newcastle. It's always a big event on the Newcastle Rugby League calendar, so hopefully the weather keeps away and we can get a big crowd. Normally you can get about 3,000 or 4,000 in the Townsend Oval, so it's a must-do if you're a local in Newcastle to check it out.
Unfortunately, I don't want to put any sort of concerns about the going ahead, but for those who don't live in the area, it is one of those grounds that's sort of near the coast where the rain has been. But, hopefully they can just... I mean, God, play in the mud. I know it's the early rounds, but Sleepy's Day, you don't want to miss out on it, you know?
Yeah, well, I think South got in trouble a few years ago. They played a second division game in the mud.
Yeah, I think I remember that happening.
And Townsend Oval was closed for about 2 months, so they probably don't want to go down that park because they share the ground with Merriweather Carlton Rugby as well. So
that's right, yeah. And there's been a bit of money plunged into the facilities there lately too. So I forget I said that, guys. Don't do that. And if you do it, I didn't tell you to do it, you know. But it'd be good. I say it every time. Sleep is a foundation now. It's something you can donate to for any reason at any time. It might be you've been touched by similar kind of things that have happened around Sleepy and you want to donate for that reason. It might be just that, you know, you've got a bit extra cash about, I don't know. But it's something that you can just do online, anywhere you live. You don't have to go to the game. If you can't make it to the game and you're going to go anyway, chuck some money in. If it's rained out, chuck some money in. Anything will help.
Yeah, well said. Well, is that around the grounds?
No, it's around the grounds for me.
Around the groups or
around the groups, around the grounds.
Everything. We've got the I think the groundsman here at the shed, he's just out getting the football field ready.
It's anything, anywhere in the east coast of Australia now. As soon as there's sunshine, you'll hear a mower because people are desperately trying to get their lawns trimmed.
All right, Quizmasters trivia last week. The question was, who entered the Newcastle Rugby League first? Was it Curry, Morpeth or Cessnock? And, well, the answer was Curry. They first entered the Newcastle Rugby League in 1920. They were only there for 1 year. They had a bit of a dispute with the Hunter District Rugby League. So they left
dispute in rugby league?
Yeah,
sure, Paul,
unbelievably. That type of stuff happened back then. But, yeah, they were here for a year, went back, then rejoined back in 1927. Morpeth and Maitland United, they both joined in 1925, and Cessnock 1930. They played first grade. So, congratulations to Bob McAllister. He won the subscription.
Beautiful.
And we'll have another question for you. Actually, we've got it for you now. When was the last time Queanbeyan Blues lost a round one fixture? So, if you know the answer to that,
and the answer isn't 2022.
Exactly.
That's the trick. Well, we're not going to accept that.
Well, it may be if they've never lost a game in round one ever.
Yeah,
it's just quite possible.
It's possible. It tells you how well we're attuned to the answers and stuff that we're like, well, we don't know. We'll find out later. But yeah, it's a good question. I mean, like I said, I think they'll be dirty because no doubt they've got that professional kind of shine to them where they just don't lose those sort of games.
That's it. So the question this week is. When did Queanbeyan Blues last lose a round one fixture, and not including 2022?
No.
Put a little disclaimer down the bottom.
Not answering. But you can be like Bob and get your 1 year subscription.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Like I said, rainy weekend ahead. There will be rugby league on Bar TV, I guarantee it. I can't guarantee it, but I'll guarantee that most likely will be. And you can be sitting, looking at your lawns getting rained on, and instead watching some quality rugby league.
Well, I know the Sunshine Coast, they'll play rain, hail or shine.
Good.
And I've been privy to that. We did the Noosa Sevens, Bar TV did the Noosa Sevens a few years ago, and pretty much a cyclone hit the coast. And, they still played.
Yeah, well, good on. Maybe it's a tropical attitude towards things.
It dries out quicker up there. I don't know.
They just think, well, this happens all the time. We'd never play if we had to cancel things because of tropical rain.
Yeah. All right, that's the Quizmasters part. Now it's on for the big hit of the week.
It's huge. There's like a mini hit before the big hit in this, I'd argue too.
Yes. So just with the big hit too, before we put it up on the screen, is that if you have a big hit in your game, or you think that we could have had a better, bigger hit, let us know. Contact at bartvsports.com.au, and we'll try and show a few more in the show.
And even ones they've recorded themselves, sort of funny some video style, like we could capture anything you can throw our way that's a good hit.
Yeah, bloody oath. Well, here it is, the round two's big hit of the week. And it's actually a reserve grade fixture here.
It's not a bad hit there.
And here we go.
Oh, Jesus! I've seen it a couple of times, and I
can tell you, the fullback, he actually gets up and walks away. There he is over the back of your screen. Nothing happened. And
to Belcon and to the Sharks' credit, they were a bit concerned about him. They immediately, despite the fact there were tries being scored, I think one of the players came over to him and said, "You're right, mate," sort of thing. So, and he eventually said, "Yeah, I'm right," and got up and walked away. Yeah,
so that was the big hit of the week, brought to you by Nobody.
The man shake, maybe.
Somebody. Jeez,
hey, Adam, you're listening.
We're giving him enough free plugs tonight anyway.
But it wasn't really. We wouldn't recommend that tackling style either. Just he sort of tackled with his neck or something there. He slipped over, but it was a hell of a hit.
Yeah. Righto, we're almost done and dusted. We'll move into this week's fixtures. South Coast Group 7 kicks off this weekend, round 1. You can see the fixtures there up on your screen. There's 2 games on Saturday, Stingrays v Gerringong, Nowra v Albion Park at 7 o'clock. I'm not too sure how good the lighting is down there.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Then 3 games on Sunday, Shell Harbour host Jamberoo, Warilla up against Kiama, and Milton Ulladulla host Berry Shoalhaven Heads, who are back after a couple of years out just playing the lower grades.
Fantastic. I love to hear that. And there'll be some good games there. I think Shell Harbour vs Jamberoo could be my pick of the games this week. I think it'll be a cracker of a one. I think Jamberoo are going to come out firing.
Nice ground there too at the Sharks. Newcastle Rugby League round 3. Hopefully this rain stays away. There's the fixtures there up on your screen. Wyong at home to Lakes. South do battle with Central. That is Sleepy's Day. Cessnock are at home against Macquarie. Maitland do battle with the Entrance Tigers, and West are at home to Curry on Sunday, the standalone fixture on Sunday, the Newcastle Rugby League. And
out of those, I mean, it's sad to have to contemplate more games off, but I would hope that Cessnock and Maitland's home games hopefully will go ahead there because they're a bit further away from the coast.
We move down to Canberra, round 2 of the Canberra Raiders Cup. Yass had the bye in round 1, so they'll host Woden Valley. The Blues, Queanbeyan Blues, looking for their first win against Tuggeranong, who smashed the Roos last week. Goulburn City at home to Gungahlin, and Belconnen United take on the Queanbeyan Roos. West Bell have the bye. Yeah,
another bunch of great games there. I think Goulburn City and Gungahlin will be good.
Yeah. Yes, they've got a new grandstand with a platform, so that'll be interesting.
I love Yass's home ground. I find it very interesting.
Well, the camera's now on the other side of the field, so we get to see what was behind the camera.
Yeah, okay. And they sort of miss that hill. You're sort of on the hill.
Yeah,
lovely.
Round 3, Gold Coast, or Rugby League Gold Coast. Tugun host Southport. Runaway Bay host Helensvale at 5:30. Then on Sunday is the 2 games. The match of the round, Mudgee Bar host Burleigh, and Currumbin host Ormo.
Yeah, quite rightly match of the round, that Mudgee Bar and Burleigh. I think it'll be a great game.
Yeah, well, Burleigh 2 from 2. Mudgee Bar had that good win over Southport last week. So, that will be a
and it'll be interesting with Southport at the moment because they've sort of, they had that the bunch of high-profile sort of players last year. They actually went reasonably deep into the finals, but we'll have to see where they can kind of bounce back a bit against Tugun.
Yeah. Sunshine Coast, round 2. Caboolture hosts Maroochydore. Biwa at home to Noosa. Caloundra against Nambour. And they're all, I should say Caboolture kicks off at 3:30. The Biwa Noosa game, Caloundra and Nambour at 6 p.m, so a bit later. And then on Sunday, the standalone fixture at 3:30, Gympie Devils against the Kawana Dolphins.
Yeah, I think I just look at some of those times. I think of the Sunshine Coast. I think the CRL show needs to come direct from the Sunshine Coast very soon. It'd be beautiful up there. 6 o'clock game. You can be in the beach all day. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a lovely spot up there for sure. Well, mate, that's pretty much it. It's another show done and dusted. Yeah.
We'll see the Peter McDonald Premiership roll out now this week with all the rest of the round 1 games. So there's another comp got to getting up and rolling, and a few more. I think lucky Northern Rivers Regional Rugby League don't start for a few weeks, and it's probably a good thing. I don't know. There are some parts there they still haven't accessed that are not far away from where teams are playing. So it's probably worked out fortuitously that they're not actually due to kick off. Speaking
of a late start to Central Coast Rugby League, have also moved their competition to start next week.
Yeah.
It was supposed to start last week, but they moved it back, so they've actually moved it back a fortnight now. So,
okay. And you'll see some funny things because we've got Easter in a couple of weeks' time. Then the week after that's Anzac Day, which is they're not often that close together. And I think that might be after Anzac Day that is it Northern Rivers or somewhere decide to kick their games off because there's just a lot of public holidays and stuff to deal with at once.
All right, that's us. We're done. We'll catch you next week on the CRL show. And as we say, if you got any info or an event, send it through to contacts at bartvsports.com.au. Myself and Jeff will try and give it a plug for you.
Brilliant. Yep.
All right, we'll catch you next week.
See ya.